Hi, and welcome to Cockatude, Cockatoos with Attitude. And here's one with attitude, Seesaw.
Hi,
And she,
Cecil and Jasmine.
this one is not acting sleepy, which is kind of unusual. And she did a like flying leap down at me, trying to get me to pet her with her beak open this morning. So, and you can see she's just like, I'm going to get myself preened and petted today, aren't you? Just letting everybody know we may have an interruption because Home Depot told me they'd be here between 10 and 2 to deliver the wood today. But they have to use the forklift to drop it in here because they're 16 footers. But I do have a tripod out there so I can put the camera on the tripod so you can watch the birds while we're unloading the wood if that happens. Okay, who's
Now she's
playing with my head? Mander.
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 It certainly is Mander.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the aha moment. You know, there is a point where you've been working and working and working, and you just don't. It's like with sugar, okay? I worked for 2 years trying to get her out of that collar and somehow get the medicine to a level where she wouldn't, keep hurting herself, and finally it all happened in one day. It happened with Mango. Um, I was petting I was petting Mander, which of course is modeling. So they parrots do both vociferous, vicarious learning and modeling. So vicarious is when you put your finger in a fire and you go ow and you pull back. They avoid the fire because they're not stupid. So they learn vicariously. The other side of it is modeling. When they see that bird, like when Romeo said I love you," and I brought him a treat, then Bob said "I love you." That's where he learned it from. And if you listen to it, it's basically Romeo's "I love you" with a little more insistence behind it. Um, so I've been working and working with him, just trying to get him to come over. And then he just came over and I took my hand like this and I went like that above his head. He put his head down and he let me pet him. And he's let me pet him several times now. So, and he looks at me with different eyes, not those eyes. Those are the eyes of somebody who's just dead set on getting what she wants. But he looks at me with eyes like, okay, I accept you now. So proving the phrase that I've used for myself as being polyamorous. Um, it seems like birds will eventually accept me, even ones that are tough like Mango. But now he looks forward to me coming over to his cage and bringing him his treats, and he calls me when he wants something, and he looks at me with recognition instead of that distant look like, who is this idiot? If I were him, I'd keep looking at me that way. But, for some reason, these guys all kind of accept me. So a part of that reason is obviously I do the whole song and dance of ABA. With him, I was focused mainly on come bearing gifts and responding to his calls. Providing modeling instances where he could see other birds being petted, especially Mander. Um, and with Mander, although it's not required, I was going like this over Mander's head, and then then Mander would put his head out, and I would pet him because I wanted that cue to be for Mango to accept that cue, and all of a sudden he did. He came over, I wiggled my fingers above his head like that, and he put his head down. So I break off contact before he does. That's an important factor too. I'll pet his head for a couple of minutes and then I break contact. And when he wants it again, he has to come back for it. So I'm training him to uh, be ready to be petted. So it's important. I mean, he's not going to survive in this world. What are you doing? Don't eat the chair. Don't eat the chair. We don't eat the chairs. No, no, we're not going to do that. No, stop it. No eating the chair. Yeah, well, that's easy for you to say. Good boy. Yes, you are a good boy. What what kind of bird? Yeah. So of course, after I go through a long song and dance about how with this, with a bird that's been a breeder bird, how they may never, you may never get through to them. All of a sudden, boom, it happens. But of course, it wasn't all of a sudden. We often hear people say, "Well, out of the blue, my bird bit me," or "Out of the blue, a bird did this." Um, No, this was you know, planned for and hoped for, but I could have gone on like this for years. It might could take a long, long time. I wasn't saying to myself this is going to happen in X time frame because if I'd done that, then I could have set myself up for failure. But now he's in a position where he comes out. I don't have him out now because someone we all know and love, this one over here, Sugar. Um, if she doesn't get out in the first group, she'll go nuts. And when I say nuts, I mean she'll probably start tearing into her feathers. She hangs upside down. She starts s- moving her feet, stereotypically on her cage. She has to be out in the first group. She's funny. She's one of the first ones to want back out when she's had enough, but she has to come out first. And there's no
Mm.
way I can have her out with Mango because
Yep.
she wants to get preened and Mango's looking for a mate. So it's a bad combo. So,
And sugar can be really persistent. I remember once when you couldn't go in the old home outside because there was basically storm weather like wind, rain, super cold, and sugar was annoying so much that you basically had to take her, bring her out so she sees herself how bad the weather actually is.
yep.
That's sugar.
hmm Hey, stop it.
No, and sugar certainly shouldn't be getting too involved with Mango. That's
Gave you a
already
chance
too
to
much.
fly.
He could fly up.
Well, he was chewing the chair, so I leaned the chair back and he flew. It's good for practice anyway. Mango's in there wanting out right now.
Certainly.
That's it. What?
So let's see. Let's greet the chatters, I suggest. So let's start with Tiki Tiki and Falconsu, who came in first. So hello, Falconsu is greeting everyone and the feathered hooligans especially. Who she might mean? Hmm? And Lisa is with us. So welcome, Lisa. Looks like we have a bucket boy today. And Calvin Thurston is with us. And Jem and Jamie. So hello and welcome, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
So yesterday, did any of the birds see its shadow?
No, I think she might have seen something. I don't know what. Did you get into something I don't know about? Did you take some LSD or something? Yeah. Here,
I don't know.
she's a, she's acting pretty strange. This bird.
Uh, no, they just reported pretty intense about Groundhog Day.
That's funny because I thought it was a joke. I didn't really believe there was such a thing until I saw the movie and I thought, well, that's interesting. But then I found out there actually is a Groundhog Day in
Mhm.
California, where I was raised. Every day is pretty much the same. There's no winter here either. So There really isn't any winter. There's wet season and dry season, and that was it. So the idea there was a groundhog that can't tell you if there was going to be winter. What winter?
Mm-hmm. Well, they do it in Pennsylvania, if I understood it right. So up there, I think they usually do have a winter.
Yes, they do, and I would
Mhm.
never want to live there. Any place where there's a winter, I would like to avoid. So
Well, on the other hand, they have a lot of Amish and they produce really good food.
yeah, which the state of Pennsylvania is doing everything they can to stop them from doing
Yeah,
because
that's sad.
they only want to support these big corporations that make food you shouldn't eat. So
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they grew the things like it was grown probably 200 years ago or so,
yep.
but before all these fertilizers and pesticides. So I guess their soil is still rich when it comes to minerals and all the other necessary stuff that gives the food value.
Food value. I wonder what that is. I don't see that where I'm living much. Of course, we can't really grow anything in here except weeds. But
Yeah, well, that's the desert.
yeah, well, I like the desert. I'm fond of warmth and heat. I prefer 115
Mm.
to uh, to 50 degrees. So
Well, you could probably in some tremendous greenhouses grow food.
now that we're all starting to yawn, I yawned.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit sick and
I know, poor thing.
lack oxygen. Yeah, my nose is still closed.
Well, at least you have a head. Someone over here doesn't even have a head.
Oh, Sugar bird.
Mm.
So now the
That
chat
is,
is suddenly awfully quiet. I hope everybody is fine.
yeah, it was a shock to me. I mean, I was working towards it, but when Mango came over, I was sitting about in this spot, and Mango came over after I was done petting Mander, and so I just wiggled my fingers like I've been doing over Mander's head. He put his head down, and I started petting him, and he was fine with it. The other times when I've attempted to do that, you get about 5 seconds, and then he jerk his head back and look at you like, "What do you think you're doing?" He doesn't do that anymore now. So it's kind of like in that movie. I'm going with the movie quotes again. Uh, "Cat on a Hot Tin Roof," which is from a Tennessee Williams play, but you have to feel that click, you know. And that's finally what happened. There was a click, and now Mango is actually just part of the group, just like he'd been here forever. He's still wild and crazy. He does the Magwai thing, but he's much more he's more integrated now. Just tends to get along better after accepting me. He now sort of accepts everybody in the group. So, what are you doing, bugger boy? Sea salt, sea salt, sea salt. What are you doing? You napping over there or what? Yeah. Wait, wait, wait. Okay. You say so. Yeah, so you have to be persistent and you just have to keep going. When you see opportunities you know you can take without causing a problem, you do it. So and then it will seem as if it all happened by magic, but there's a lot of work to it. And you can't give up and you can't get frustrated because you're frustrated will show through. They can see the capillary response on your skin. They can read you better than any human can. So if you're looking frustrated, then they're going to think that it's something against them, so you just can't get frustrated. I wasn't happy about carrying him out in a towel, but now, I mean, he's okay with it. He pretty much doesn't even fight me much anymore. I just get him in a towel, bring him out here, get him in a towel, take him back. But and I don't know if that will, when and if it probably will, but when it'll change. He's still afraid of hands, at least near his feet. He's not afraid of hands around his head, but if you get anywhere near his feet, he's gone. So, well, not anymore. He isn't gone. He just takes two steps back. He's gone from running away to taking two steps back. So that's a big jump. You're not a bucket boy anymore? Hey, you. Hey, sea salt. Seesaw. Cecil. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I hadn't even got to the point with him where I was going to do it, but I hadn't even started doing calm attention with him yet. So where you're basically looking at him through the cage and getting his attention. Right? Didn't even get that far yet. I was just doing come bearing gifts and paying attention to his needs. So in the morning he'll start going "Brrr, brrr," he makes these little sounds like that. And I duplicate them. I make the sound back and then I bring him a banana and then not the whole thing obviously. But he likes the handle on it. So you have to give him cut the end of it off. So I bring him a banana, and then if he doesn't want that, I bring him an apple. And he likes peanuts too, so I'll give him a peanut here and there as a reward for his behavior. And his behavior is excellent at this point. It's amazing. I When I first got him, he was wild and just like you were never going to be able to contain this bird. And now he's fitting right in with caveats, of course. You don't want him around the females because he's going to be a Casanova. And that's what he was raised to be. So he doesn't know any better. Um, Jasmine will tell him off, though. But then he gets a little aggressive because she tells him to go away and he doesn't like that. But he hasn't hurt
Yeah.
her. There's,
Man,
but
he not Amanda. Mango has had no idea when he approached Jasmine, and he really made the cutest face ever and the cutest movements around her. He was so sweet, and Jasmine just completely unimpressed. So they're like, nope, nope, nope. So yeah, that completely irritated him. Jasmine, Amanda,
Mandelbird.
and the Shug.
Yeah, he to watch him interact with the other birds now. It's like he's been here with us forever. It's funny how that works because there's that period with all of them where there's some distance and they're not really integrated into our little ragtag flock, and there's that point where they cross over um, and you're never quite sure if it's going to happen, but you just keep doing it, just keep plugging along. My next step was going to start and probably will do it anyway, the calm attention, but because it's good to be able to hold on to their attention for 30 seconds if you need to in training. So I don't think he knows any tricks or anything like that. So we'll probably work on that just to integrate him a little bit further, get him to do some things. He's not going to do the step up right away, but target training, and then I might be able to get him to do something like pick up a ball and toss it into a little hoop or something. So I might start that because he's obviously smart. But this is probably the hardest thing for humans to do And why a lot of people don't become animal trainers, because it does require patience. And with parrots, it requires more than it does with dogs, per se, because dogs have this idea that somebody's supposed to be in charge. Parrots don't. Cats don't either. So if you work with cats, and don't think cats can't be trained. I watched my Dr. Zeligs train her cat to do three behaviors in less than half an hour. So on cue. Okay. So they can be trained, but like any other animal, you have to know what you're dealing with and what the things that they're looking for, so that you can provide those so that they'll do what you want. It's got to be a win for you and a win for them. Someone's going to sleep now. She was a wild child when I put her in here. Boy, she was just wow all over the place. There's one that was a wild one too. When I first got her, I didn't get any sleep. I mean, she was tearing herself up when I got her, so I had to put her on the medication. And the medication I had to give her 3 times a day, which meant I had to, didn't get much sleep. Oh, I hate it when I got a delivery coming in, I get a ding, and I don't know what's going on. Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. They delivered a package, and so somebody can run off with it on the front door. And I can't leave here right now. And UPS is bad. I mean, other places I've lived, UPS was good about delivering things. They delivered a package yesterday, threw it over the fence right next to the sign as if you drop a package here, I'm not responsible for it. They threw it right over the fence, right where the sign was. So I obviously saw the sign. I tossed it over anyway. FedEx won't do that. They go to the front door. And once I put that sign up, that was the end of that. They don't deliver over there anymore. What are you doing up there, kid? So with us, we humans, the thing is we don't get in, especially in the United States. Instant, everybody wants instant gratification here. I'm going to teach this bird to do this trick in a day. Okay, good. Yeah. Set yourself up for failure, because that's pretty much what you're going to do when you start saying things like that. So you use the tools, you plug along, and when you're dealing with something like a breeder bird, you plug along, and you know that at some point it will get better. You don't know whether it's going to get a lot better or how long it's going to take. I have the advantage, though, of having severely deficient autobiographical memory, SDAM, which means I don't remember yesterday. I can remember technical details, but I don't remember the actual events of yesterday at all. So I can go for a long time working this stuff, and it doesn't seem like it was a long time. Recently, I was looking back, like, when did I form the sanctuary? And I went, oh, it's been 16 years. Seems like I just started it yesterday. Time flies when you're having fun. Don't try timing flies, though. They go in squares. If you ever notice that they make right angles, they do 90-degree angles. So you'll find yourself going one, two, left, turn, and right flank. The movie quote today. See if somebody can get this one. The prize at the other end is a flight education worth $1 million. But first, you have to get past me. Yeah, Falcon suit. KK when he got here, he was a wild child. Was chasing after Mander, and the Mander was being Mr. Chicken, running away from him, and that made it all worse. And he wouldn't let a pink bird within 2 feet of him. Now he lets them sit within 6 inches. They just have to leave him alone. They can sit there as long as they don't do anything.
Hmm. Yeah, meanwhile,
Yeah.
we had Jocelyn Triggle join us and Eleanor is here. So hello to you guys. Hope Sunny is
Hello.
fine. And Falconsu says she knows the movie quote, or she thinks she knows it.
Cool.
So is she, well, put the guess into chat. I'm not sure if Don has already read it.
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay, I couldn't hear it. I was muting me and blowing my nose. And after that, I'm like 2 minutes deaf. I don't know why that thing got really into my ears.
Well, it's all kind of connected, the sinuses, and the
I
ears.
know.
So.
But Falcon, so please just put it into the chat, then I give it to Don.
Yeah, it is that tiny, tiny little lines on the screen that I can read, but
Everybody else is also invited to put its guess in the chat.
I always try to. Well, I try when I can to find a quote that could be mistaken for a popular movie. So I do that too.
I already guessed the popular movie before we started.
Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to get healthier for the birds because at my age, you start to go downhill. I mean, I was getting out of. I don't really sleep in a bed because I've got vertigo, so I sleep in a chair. But I get up and everything aches and it takes a while to straighten up. Hell with that. So I've been working out now for a while, and when I say a while, it means I don't know how long. I mean, Anne Marie could probably tell you, but I don't know. Um, but Now the only problem I have is that I'm not used to the muscles, so I find myself overdoing some things. I almost threw the window. The windows around here don't have screens, so when you open the window, you got to open it way up so that you can get a screen in there and close it. So I almost threw the window and broke it. I went, whoa, okay. Don't know my own strength, like Bullwinkle, right?
Okay, first, Falkensu has another quote from the movie, if she's correct. She says, or I give the quote to you, Don. I got nowhere else to go.
Yep, that's from the movie.
And Eleanor has a question. A Flight Education is the movie about aircraft.
Yeah, well, yes, that's part of the plot. Yes, I would say that's not the major part of the plot, but it is.
Falcon sits as an officer and a gentleman.
That's it.
Ooh, excellent.
It's trying to find the video now. They move things around again. There we are. Yeah, if anybody knows that movie, who won the best supporting actor award for that movie? It actually should have been best actor, to be honest. But what an amazing performance! He basically made the movie, and he
Mm.
reminded me of somebody in my life, which is a rarity. Wake up, Jasmine.
Falconsuit is guessing Lou Gossett Jr., Best Supporting Actor? Question mark.
Ah, yep, that's him. What an amazing part! He played a drill instructor, just absolutely perfect. I had mine was bosun mate Chief Grog, and he'd never had anything but an honor company. And if you think an honor company it just happens, no, it doesn't. And you're up in the middle of the night with flashlights because regulations say you have to turn out the lights at 10. So you can do 2 hours of making sure you have everything perfect. So the next day when you go to do inspection, you'll get it right. And then you wake up 2 hours early so that you can do it again, double check it again. He was tough. I still remember the first thing he said to me and the first thing I said to him. It was the first day, and we were out on the grinder, the blacktop. We were out on the grinder, and he said to do 50 push-ups. Well, I got about 10, 12 out. And he came up behind me and he said, "You didn't do your 50." And I said, "I can't." And the back end of the rifle he had hit me in the back of the head, and my face went right into the blacktop. And you know what? When I get up in the morning, he's the one who helps me do it. Because after that, I did 50 push ups. I didn't know I could. I really thought I couldn't do them. Actually, probably did a little more than 50, but I did 50. And today, they're not allowed to do anything like that. So when you get out there and you're trying to, stay alive, good luck. Good luck. They got what I think the Navy has. I think they still have 6 week boot camp. I had a 3 month boot camp. That was not easy, and we only had one punishment too: 1,500 jumping jacks. And in almost there were only a few exceptions. Everyone had to do them. One person screws up, everybody has to do 1,500. So, yeah, he's the one that gets me up in the morning. You think, oh, I'm tired. I only got 4 hours of sleep. You get up anyway. It don't matter. When I was in boot camp, I was lucky to get 4 hours. 4 hours was a lot for us. So, one last little story from that where our recruit petty officer had us do, we were not allowed to do any cadence, right? Where like Casey Jones, that kind of thing. We weren't allowed to do that. Well, we were all the way on the other side of the compound. So he had us do one of these. And bosun mate Chief Grog set the clock an hour ahead. And then he woke us up and we're looking like, oh, wow, we didn't have to use the flashlights and everything. Because we were expecting to get up with the flashlights, but it was actually 5 when we were supposed to get up, but it wasn't. And so we did 1,500 jumping jacks. We got to take a break and do push up position. And you don't want to do that. That is really painful because if you don't hold the push up position, you're going to get hit. So, and your arms start shaking. So everybody's shaking trying to keep the push up position. We never did cadence again. So, best training I ever had. Well, I've had some other training in other areas, but as far as discipline, it was the best discipline I've ever learned. So before that, I was a total loser when it came to discipline. I didn't have any. These guys are the ones who taught me patience, though. And that's when you're dealing with, you're bringing in a bird for the first time, whatever its issues are, you're going to be dealing with that patience issue. And if you don't have it, you really can't do it. You'd be lucky if it happened, right? You can't have a give it up attitude. You got to have the attitude, I'm going to make it work. It's going to happen. Just going to happen. Like that Leonard Cohen song, you're waiting for the miracle to come, right? So, but with Mango now, when he looks at me, he gives me eyes like these other birds do when they look at me. I mean, it depends on what their mood is, but sometimes Sugar will look at me just like really a cute look. Other times is like what Mander's doing right now. I want something. Pet me.
The
But
lean forward.
he leans
Even
into
what
the
my
whole
puppies
thing.
do when they want something.
But to see Mango come over and actually put his head down, and he gave me that look that Mander gave, like, okay, you can pet me now.
Mhm. We have a question from Jem and Jamie.
hmm
Do you have a recommendation for an avian UV light?
A brand? No, not really. But it has to be avian. It can't be anything else.
Yeah, she knows that. She has trouble to find one.
Well, you could probably find one on. I'm pretty sure they have them on Birdie Boutique. And I know you won't get the wrong thing from him because I mean, even though he doesn't own the company anymore, um, Dr. Burkett was not stupid when it came to things like that. Who else would have one? I can't think of the brand names. Mm-mm, not coming back. That's the kind of detail I usually can remember, but I'll look it up for you. I'll get back to you on that. Chat GPT or DeepSeek could point you to the right one, probably. Specifically, you have to say, I do not want a reptile lamp. I want something specifically for avians. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty sure, well, here, let me take a quick look if it'll let me. Uh, you never know if it's going to let me.
Because that certainly wouldn't work here in good old Germany.
Yeah, I know all this. Where's the?
And Tiki
Uh,
Tiki has found one on Amazon.
yeah, the thing about Amazon is, well, as long as it says it's avian, it's probably okay. It should say
Mm.
avian full spectrum. Um, Zoom Med Avian Sun Deluxe floor lamp. That's one. Avian Sun. Yeah, that's a good brand. That's the one I use. There's another one if you're looking for the A19 type that screws in. It's the Waveform Avian Full Spectrum E26 A19 LED. That's an LED that does the job. That's a rare one. And it's not that expensive. It's $28. Um, Hagen makes one as well. And then Featherbright. Those are all good ones. Featherbright's going to be an expensive one, but it's made to sit on top of the cage. So It's $120, but it's actually got the apparatus to sit on top of a cage where the birds can't get to it. So hope that helps. Names I recognize anyway. Should be avian full spectrum, and if you can get the LED, it's going to last a long time. If you get in the like they do make a fluorescent, it's good for about a year. Then you got to toss it because the fluorescent wears out. Um, they have incandescent ones too. Nah, they get there again. They're only good for a short time. The LED will last. So 28's a steel. I'm actually going to look into that one. I think I'll get a couple of those. When they get outside, so they do get sunlight, but I mean, this indirect sunlight's all they need. When they're in the forest, that's all they get is indirect sunlight. But right, Mander? He says, is he asking me if I want to get petted? That's that look. He's wondering. So I don't know who saw that movie, Officer and the Gentleman, but excellent acting by Louis Gossett Jr. Only two things come out of Oklahoma. Um, a good drill instructor is hard to find. You got to have a good human being that wants you to live too. So when I hear what sounds like a truck, my ears perk up today. A big truck because they'll be coming in here with a big truck and a forklift today. If they don't call up and reschedule it again, it's Home Depot. So oh, Giselle, you love that movie. Yeah, I do too. It's a good movie. I like Richard Gere. It was great in Chicago too. A lot of people, when they heard he was going to be in it, said, "Ah, that's not going to be any good." Well, he's good. All the actors in that movie are good. I could say that for an officer and a gentleman too. Deborah Winger was excellent in that movie. I don't know the name of the one who played the blonde from the South, but she did play a good part. He ended up really hating her. Yeah, for an actor to really make you hate him, they got to be pretty good. I didn't hate her acting. I just didn't like the character she was playing. So, Cecil, are you going to hang on the bars and make gum all day? They mess with you? Touch your tail. He touched my tail. He touched my tail. He did. Hi, Cecil. What's up, Cecil? Cecil. Are you okay? Are you okay? Hmm. Not very active. Are you all right? He's one of the birds with AGN, and he also has fatty liver disease. So keep an eye on
Mm.
him.
Oh, Cecil.
He's usually more active. He's been pretty active the last couple of days, but
Mm.
when he starts just hanging on the cage or on the aviary, I start wondering.
Mm.
This is not normal for him to be that quiet, but hi, Shug.
So Richard Cockatoo joined us. And Giselle joined us as well. So hello to you both. Yeah. Sugar, you look good.
Of course she does. She's a sugar bird.
Mm.
Zuckervogel. 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 Sugar bird.
Not sure what Cecil is doing. Usually he's stalked by a lot of birds because everybody wants Cecil to preen.
Yeah, Lucy's figured out though that she can get preening from Mango. So
Yeah.
she's gotten to be like gum stuck to the bottom of his shoe. And of course, he doesn't wear shoes, but you get the idea. Uh, she just, I have to keep separating her. She just won't leave him alone. It's like, you preen. I'm here. Preen me.
Yeah, the goose is a brave bird since Mango is probably double the size of the goose.
Yeah, she doesn't have any clue what her size is. She's just a tough little thing. I mean, she's tough with me. And when I go to get her out of the cage, she fights me, doesn't want to come out. And then she gets out here, she's happy. She doesn't want to go in. you know, stubborn. She's a stubborn little girl. She packs a lot in a small package. I should. What do you do? Did you calm down now? Hmm. Your motor was racing this morning. It was. I don't know who wound you up. I don't even feel a key on your back, but you were all wound up. She looked like Hannibal Lecter in that scene in The Silence of the Lambs. She had her handcuffs off, that was for sure. She doesn't even have hands. What are you whining about, little girl? Hmm, what are you whining about? Yeah, I know. You like Mango. You like him to preen you. I think that's the only thing on her mind is being preened, but she doesn't realize he's a Casanova. Jasmine does. Get away from me. I want no part of you.
But he's not only a Casanova. I mean, he also really likes Mander. He spent, I think, when I watched last time, 1 hour or more to just make Mander like him. Sat next
Spin,
to him.
spin,
Yeah.
spin, spin. Yeah, just spinning. He did it again yesterday. He was doing the spin in front of Mander too.
But at least Mander is now more loose. I mean, at the beginning you said he was sitting there like a stuffed toy.
He
And
was. Yeah.
yeah. And then with the time or so, Mango was allowed to come close and Mander didn't freeze. So that was at least something.
It's almost as if he finds it entertaining now. Like watching him do the spin is entertaining. He doesn't have to do it. He can just watch somebody else do it.
Well, Mander has just no clue how to interact with somebody of his species.
He seems to be picking up a little bit, though. I mean, they seem to be interacting pretty well.
Mm.
Snowball is still a little shy of Mango.
But
Um,
Mango preened him.
yeah, yeah, but he's still. You can tell he's just a little bit wary because the rest of the pink birds are like, "Get away from me," and Mango's not that
Yeah.
way. So
I
it
mean, he,
it
he
is.
can sit next to them, but usually none of the pink birds ever wanted to interact. And he is like, hi, let me preen you. Oh.
Yeah,
But
I still haven't told. Go
he
ahead.
recently even preened back Cecil, so now I think all the preeners have now met each other so far.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Didn't expect it to happen quite this fast, but I'm glad it did.
Hmm.
The only thing is now when we come out here with the first group, Mango will go off for like 20 minutes because he wants to come out at the same time. But
Oh, yeah, of course, when all the Moluccan ladies are out.
yeah, I'm sure that's part of the mix, but I think he just likes being out. He wants to come out
Certainly.
here. And he's not before he would kind of give me space. He would get close to me, but not that close, within a couple of feet, and then he'd stop. Well, now he comes over to me, so he just likes to interact, and then he goes and messes with all the other birds too.
Mhm. He's definitely not a shy one.
And no, no, he's not. He gets up there and hangs from the rafters and goes just spins around upside down and does all kinds of fun stuff. He's a lot of fun.
Mm.
I would love to bring him out so you guys can see him. I'll probably have to make a video of it though because I cannot leave Sugar in. I cannot take anybody else out at first, and I can't bring her out with him. So she'll go right over to get preened, and that's the problem. So, and I can't do it. I know what's going to happen. I've seen it already. I saw what happened with Sugar, with Chloe and Snowball. Um, Also happened with Cecil and Simone, and then Cecil and Lorelai. I've managed, actually, Lorelai's managed to break that up as Cecil has started the over preening with her. So
Huh, Cecil. Now he has a customer in line.
he's saying, "Let me spit my gum out first." He's going to clean his beak. Oh, she's going to walk away from her. That's not nice. Oh, well, she doesn't preen back, so Mango at least preens back, huh? Aw, poor Sugar. She thought she had him, and he just walked away. That's the unhappy look from Sugar. I think there's a line in that movie that would fit Jasmine when she deals with Mango. I don't want no Okie from Muskogee. Right, Jazz? Give me Jasmine. Give me those Oriental eyes. Is that why they called you Jasmine? Because you give everybody those Oriental eyes? They're beautiful. Yes, they're beautiful. Yeah, I'm messing with you. She's still rowdy today. I touch her feathers and she's, "Arr, what are you doing?" So have patience. If you've got a bird that's, just keep working. You can try different things, but stick to the basics. Come bearing gifts, calm attention. I didn't get to that with him. He crossed over before, but and then if you have other birds, you can do the modeling thing. They see you petting other birds, and if they like to be preened and petted, then they'll eventually come around. And even if they don't, I mean, you're going to make some inroads. It's just, each bird you're going to deal with differently. So, right, Jasmine? I can see that look on your face. I know what that means. I know. And touch your tail. And touch your tail.
What a rouse.
She's all fired up today. Doesn't take much to set her off.
Lisa says she wants to get also an a LED light. Excellent. So yeah, I think she listened to when you earlier give the recommendations.
Well, I knew they had to be available because they are made for plants. You can't use a plant light on these guys, but they do have UV lamps for plants. So I was hoping they would
Yeah.
make UV lamps. They just didn't have them the last time I looked. Now they seem to be available. So.
Well, I think for plants there are also different variations. Probably depends on the plant.
Yeah, and that's the thing with avians. You have specific. They have to be specific. So.
You must get the right spectrum.
Well, folks, that's about it for today. I'm going to be busy
Sugar
unloading wood.
is making herself big
Yeah,
or tall.
she got
Oh.
she got some preening, so she's happy.
Oh, that's sweet. Good boy, Cecil.
He's pretty accommodating when it comes to that stuff, aren't you, boy? Thank you, Eleanor and Amy, for moderating, and get well, Amy. No more sickness for you. And don't hang out with the squirrels.
I try to, but if some appear in our garden, they usually will be fed by us. Because the European squirrels are quite docile.
Yeah, they don't climb in your walls like they do in...
No, not at all.
They're pests out here, but we don't really have any squirrels here that I know of, but so we'll see you guys next week, and maybe I'll get some videos up of Mango up there. I will try. You never know how much time I still have. I have to cut beaks and do nails today and all kinds of fun stuff, and cut wood in half if it shows up. So we will see you all, and thanks for being here again. And you can say goodbye, Cecil. Goodbye, Cecil.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.